Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next episode of Vinyl Stallions!
Yeah, but you had to do it. You had to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think 1994 was a little bit deeper and stronger at the top, but this still had this year had some amazing. So if we did 96.
When we do 96. But let's not get ahead of ourselves right now. There's no time traveling allowed, Clep. But
You're on the next episode of Vinyl Stallions.
and that's right. We are in person for the second time ever. I can touch Clep. I don't have to put
I'm
through
not imaginary.
He's not imaginary. He's not going through my screen. You're not going to see any screen switches today. But today we will be diving into the year 1995.
Which is Spruce's birth year.
That's right. March 25th, 95, ladies and gentlemen. You do the math. I'm not as old as I may look. Sheesh. But that's right. So as Club was just saying and rambling on a little bit beforehand, we dove into 1994, which was your birth year, Club.
Yep.
But we have to do 95, and it follows up right after. And you said there weren't that as many choices as 94, but it was enough for you to buy a shirt.
I gotta stop kicking that mic, but we got Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy, and the Infinite Sadness for those listening to the audio only.
And what an album. You might find it on my list. Hint, hint, hint. But that is to be determined because I haven't shown Klopp anything that I have. He's kind of sent me a list. I really didn't even look at it because I like the surprise during these things and being able to just have no idea what album's chosen.
And surprises you will get.
Surprise we will get. Well, let's just dive right on into the year 1995. Top 10 albums of the Vinyl Stallions. Mr. Klepp, start us off at number 10.
All right. Number 10, we got Do You Want More by The Roots. The Roots are a not as known band, but they're sort of like, they're definitely rap, hip hop, but they have jazz backing tracks and they're really good at playing jazz too. So it makes for some very interesting music. It's their second album, lots of good songs on it. It's very long. It's like over an hour and 10 minutes, I believe. Yep. Number 10, The Roots, Do You Want More?
Well, yeah, wow, that was a great find. Questlove is in that band.
Yep.
Incredible drummer. Wow, that was a good one, Clap. All right, so coming in at number 10 for your boy will be You'd Prefer an Astronaut by Hum.
Okay.
Incredible song. You know the hits like Stars.
Stars, yep.
Absolute ripper, but I've actually dove into that album within
Really?
the past year.
Okay.
And it might have been in the past like 2 years because I realized that Only Stars was on the Stallions playlist. We're gonna need to get a couple more on there because that is like a trip of an album. But yes, You'd Prefer an Astronaut. Hum sitting at number 10 for your boy.
All right. I'm absolutely gonna check that out. So sort of in the same genre, at number 9, I got Above. And if you watch the 1994 episode, there's an album Spruce had, Grace by Jeff Buckley. And this mirrors that selection because like that album, Above by Mad Season is their only studio album. So for those who don't know, Mad Season is like a 90s grunge super band. So you have Lane Staley, the lead singer of Alice in Chains, Mike McCready, fucking absolute amazing guitarist, Pearl Jam. And then they met, I believe it was McCready, was in like rehab up in Minneapolis. I can't remember the guy's name, but he played bass. He met him up there and just like took him back to Seattle.
You're coming with me, kid.
And then the drummer, I also cannot remember his name, but he was the drummer with the Screaming Trees. They all formed Mad Season, made this one kick-ass record, couple radio hits, Wake Up, River of Deceit, but the whole album just bangs. So that's what I got at number 9, above Mad Season.
Very good. Sitting at number 9 for me was my 1994 winners, Green Day, with
Ooh.
Insomniac,
Ooh.
which is a ripper of an album. Definitely deserved to be in the top 10. I didn't put it higher because I just feel like there were a couple more that deserved it, and
Fair enough.
it's not one of my it's not one of my top 3 albums of theirs as well. I felt like I had to put that into perspective. But Insomniac sitting at number 9.
Not a bad choice at all. So we're on number 8. So for number 8, I have a album by a band who I just saw live recently called Incognito. They're an acid jazz band. They're one of the pioneers of the genre. And the album is 100 Degrees and Rising. Tons of good songs on this. Labor of Love, Hear Your Name, like there's banger after banger. And this was obviously it's 1995. This album was like they sort of have 3 phases of their career, and this was like smack dab in the middle of the first phase. And it's just an absolutely insane album. The music on it's incredible. Go check it out. 100 Degrees and Rising, Incognito, coming in at number 8.
Hell yeah. Now you've described that as one of the craziest albums you've listened to. And so, yeah, I'm going to have to check that out myself.
Labor of Love. That's the starter kit.
So coming in at number 8 for your boy is going to be The Bends, Radiohead. Ooh. And I mean, that album cover in itself is like, as soon as I see that, I take a gander. You're in for something when you see that.
And this is their first album, isn't it?
It is. So yeah, sitting in 1995, debut album, Radiohead, The Bends.
Can't really go wrong. So coming in at number 7 is an album that we've done a full review of. So go check it out. Our Women in Music series that we did back like March, April. Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette. If you want to know how we feel about that album, go listen to that episode. Spoiler alert, it's a great fucking album. Fleas in one of the songs. Number 7, Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette. One of the most popular albums ever.
Absolute ripper after ripper after ripper after ripper. Sitting at number 7 for Spruce is going to be What's the Story? Morning Glory.
Another good
Oasis. Which is, I mean, it has just not all of their hits, but it has a handful of their hits.
Yep.
Ripper. Whether you like it or not, I'm playing it live whenever it's requested.
Hell yeah.
Period.
I think Champagne Supernova's on that one too.
Correct.
All right, so that's your number 7.
That's my number 7.
So number 6, I got One Hot Minute by Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Dave Navarro album. And so obviously much different than a lot of the Red Hot Chili Peppers stuff because this is the only album Dave Navarro is on. A lot heavier than a lot of their other stuff, particularly with Frusciante. Some of the stuff with Hillel Slovak is a little heavy, but I think this is their heaviest album. Still really good. Still some radio hits on it, like Aeroplane, My Friends, even like Warped you'll hear on alternative radio. But yeah, overall great album. It's not their best, but it's still really fucking good. And anything Chili Peppers is going to probably be in the top 10 of that year.
Absolutely. All right. So coming up at number 6 for your boy is going to be New Beginning by Tracy Chapman.
Ooh.
Which has Tracy's, all-time hit, Give Me One Reason, but also has
Stay Here.
Ooh, that's the only reason I need is that song. Just play that over and over again. But yeah, New Beginning, the title track, Cold Feet, The Promise is another one I really like on that album. So that's my number 6.
All right, Cleveland's Own.
All right, top 5.
So now we're moving into the top 5. Things are gonna get interesting. So it's the Shirt album. The Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy, and the Infinite Sadness. Coming in at number 5, Quadruple. Well, I guess depending on which version, it's either a triple or a quadruple discer. So 2 years after this album came out, they pressed this on vinyl for Europe, not for the States, for whatever reason, 3 discs. Then when they repressed it in 2012, they're like, more discs. So quadruple discer. Album is technically 2 albums, as you might imagine with one that long, and it's over 2 hours of music. Amazing album. I think it's probably my favorite Pumpkins album.
Rightfully
Yeah.
so.
Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, number 5.
Number 5 for your boy is gonna be Me Against the World, Tupac.
Ooh.
And this, I think, is Tupac's best album. Me and our buddy Matt Bogard, shout out to City Lights Entertainment, and Nature Maddie as well. Go check them out. But we were going back and forth, we were both honestly on the same side that this was Tupac's best album right before. Yeah, like right when I was making it, and so yeah, I had to break my top 10.
All right.
Or top 5. My apologies.
Yeah, that's a really solid album. All right, so coming in at number 4 for me, this is just an absolute amazing album, and not too many people probably know this one. It is In the Hand of the Inevitable by James Taylor Quartet. And I mean, James Taylor Quartet, sort of like Incognito, who I mentioned earlier, is one of the pioneers of the acid jazz genre. This album is for sure their best. It's just one of the best albums of music in general. Like, you absolutely have to listen to this. So that's coming in at number 4 for your boy.
Hell yeah. Number 4 for me, excuse me, Tragic Kingdom by No Doubt. And No Doubt is a band that I have grown very fond of in the past like 5 years, I would say.
Gwen Stefani.
Where Gwen Stefani controls the stage like no one else can, and is just backed by some of the craziest riffs as well, like classic 90s riffs where it may seem simple, but guess what? They are teeing off if you go and watch their live videos. Just a Girl, Hey You, Sunday Morning. Like this album checks in, 14 songs, and is regarded as one of the best of this year as well. So Tragic Kingdom, No Doubt.
All right. So now we're into the top 3, and coming in at number 3 is one that Spruce had earlier in his list, Insomniac by Green Day. And now this makes sense. So if you watch the 1994 episode, I had Dookie at 5. Spruce had it as his number 1. So to me, Insomniac is a better version of Dookie.
Whoa.
They're the same style album, but I think Insomniac is just like it's the same style songs, those like 2 to 3 minute fast punk rock songs. I just like the ones on Insomniac more.
All right.
So for me, that is in my top 3 favorite Green Day albums. Dookie, it probably is too, but I think like those 2 along with 21st are my faves.
Hey, I mean, it's a ripper. You really can't go wrong with, Green Day dominated the 90s, and the fact that they are still together, still touring to this day, and not just putting on like, I don't know, performances where they're like, we're in this for the money and just want to do this. Like, I've seen Green Day twice in the past 4 years.
I need to see them so bad.
And one time it was easily top 5 concert ever. I was floor seats, 3 rows away at Blossom Music Center. And with our buddy Casino, his dad, my dad was moshing out there. It was one of the craziest experiences of my life. And I saw them from far away last year on the Hella Mega tour with Fall Out Boy, Weezer, and then they closed out. And man, it's just funny to see Billy Joe Armstrong become like this like punk kid, fuck everything kind of mentality. And and now he's like embraced just being like who he is in rockstar format, and just like it, like I don't know, like I feel like some of the music like it can have like that spite or that angst to it, and now it's just like it's all good times. Like he's like love everybody. It's unbelievable to see them live. So
Yeah,
great
that's
choice.
a bucket list concert for me. Need to see them bad.
Yeah. Speaking of bucket list concert that I should have saw and might not see ever is the Foo Fighters self-titled album by the Foo Fighters, and that iconic gun just
Yep.
waiting for you as soon as you dive into it. And I mean, it has pretty much
For
just
all
like
the cows, one of my favorite deep tracks of Foo Fighters.
yes.
But yeah, Dave Grohl played every instrument on this album.
Yeah, it's crazy. It deserved a top 3 slot from me.
Yeah, yeah, wow. I don't have it on my top 10 at all, and I feel bad because it is an amazing album.
It's all right. There are a couple that I felt bad looking at yours, and it follows exactly where you're going.
Well, this next one is not for the faint of heart. This is Fungus Among Us by Incubus, their first album. Definitely their heaviest, but also their funkiest. I don't know how to explain it. It's like Red Hot Chili Peppers and like Rage Against the Machine had a baby. It's so good though.
Fungus Among Us. What a name for an album as well. Yeah.
Yep. Never been pressed on vinyl either. The band should change that. If you're listening to this, Brandon Boyd, talk to your people. Press Fungus Among Us. You'll sell 1 million copies. Ripper. Number 2.
Number 2 for me is going to be Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette. And Cup already touched on that one earlier, but again, go listen to our Women in Music series episode on this album, and we completely break it down, and you will understand how excited song after song after song after song I get for this, and definitely deserves in the year 1995 a top 2 spot for me.
All right. So coming in at number 1 for ya boy is The Gold Experience by Prince.
Oh, how did I leave this one?
An absolute amazing album, masterpiece of an album. Dare I say it, it's better than Purple Rain. Sue me, sue me. I haven't listened to all of Prince's albums, but so far it is definitely my favorite Prince album. And Purple Rain is one of the ones that I've listened to. But what makes it so cool, I'm going to pull it up here because I always forget the name of what they're called.
Yep.
NPG Operator. They're these random tracks that will play throughout the album. And if you're listening to this album on vinyl, it makes for a crazy experience because they're always at the beginning or the end of a side. So there's just NPG Operator number 1 through 6. And it's just like this robotic voice that will say like, now loading the love experience. And then a crazy Prince song will play.
And it speaks in like Spanish a lot as well, I've noticed.
Yep.
And man, that's such a good album. I'm mad I left
There's
that
just so many. Yeah. I Hate You, Billy Jack Bitch.
I mean, doesn't it start off with P Control?
Yep, sure does.
I mean, you start off an album just
Endorphin Machine, that one.
Yeah.
Amazing album.
Dude, you just start go listen to P Control and you'll understand Prince and everything that Prince brought to the table. Sitting at number 1 for Spruce is gonna be Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, Smashing Pumpkins. And I may be fresh off of listening to the entire thing for the first time in the last week, so it may be fresh on my mind. But man, again, a 4-disc album that is over 2 hours. It brings on all the hits, but also the deep tracks. I mean, so I told Klepp, I think it was last Friday is when I listened to it. And I was like, I'm fucking diving in, fuck it. And he was like, all right, I'm joining you. But,
Sure did.
but you were like 3 songs behind me. So I would be
Yep.
like, dude, wait till you get to this. And and then at one point you passed me because I had to or do some random shit. So what an album all around. We are searching for it on vinyl. If anyone wants to sell it to the Stallions, we will give you a couple pats on the back and maybe some cash bones if you're willing to hear our fine offers. But Vinyl Valerie will go nowhere.
Yeah, she's not available.
I like right now, I just noticed that the microphone is perfectly underneath her. Can we get a quote, please? Can we get a quote? Well, beautiful. Again, to recap, Spruce's top 10, sitting at number 1 is Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, Smashing Pumpkins. Number 2 is Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette. Number 3 is Foo Fighters, by the Foo Fighters. Number 4, Tragic Kingdom, No Doubt. Number 5, Me Against the World, Tupac. Number 6, New Beginning, Tracy Chapman. Number 7, What's the Story, Morning Glory, Oasis. Number 8 is going to be The Bends, Radiohead. Number 9, Insomniac, Green Day. And number 10, You Prefer an Astronaut by Hum.
Not bad, not bad. So to recap mine, Kleps, I got The Gold Experience by Prince at 1, Fungus Among Us by Incubus 2, Insomniac, Green Day 3, In the Hand of the Inevitable, James Taylor Quartet 4, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, Smashing Pumpkins 5, One Hot Minute, Red Hot Chili Peppers 6, Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette 7, 100 Degrees and Rising, Incognito 8, Above, Mad Season 9, Do You Want More, The Roots 10.
And again, we want as much participation in this from the Stampede out there. We really want to know who has the best list.
Comments on YouTube. There will be a poll on Spotify. Comments on Instagram. Anything.
And again, you can check us out at Vinyl Stallions anywhere you listen to podcasts, anywhere on social media. And yeah, we would love just kind of your feedback and would love to hear which stallion holds the best list. And before we go away, I was staring at your shirt real quick. Again, if you could bring that closer to the camera, especially this woman's face. What you're looking at right now, ladies and gentlemen, is what Klepp looks at Dave Matthews with every time he sees him on stage. Just absolutely just had to throw some Dave in there. Dave, I think has an album that comes out, I think 1996.
Yeah, he sure did. It was called Crash.
And we might have to dive into that year as well. But for now, again, top 10 of 1995. Let us know who has the best list. And my name is Bruce.
I'm Klepp.
And this has been another episode of
Vinyl Stallions!